strangest Pirates of the Caribbean sequel ever. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, here with my brief thoughts on The Little Mermaid 2023 style. This movie starred Halle Bailey, Melissa McCarthy, and Javier Bardem, among others, and we all know what this movie is. It's the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid from 1989, and I don't think I really need to go into detail on the plot. If you know The Little Mermaid, you know The Little Mermaid. The movie does not deviate from the plot. What you see is what you get in terms of the plot. It's pretty much the same thing. I don't purport to be the biggest Little Mermaid fan out there, but I do have a lot of respect for it. In my many conversations with Rachel from Rachel's Reviews on and off camera, I remember her and I talking a lot about The Little Mermaid. It's one of her favorite movies of all time, and how that movie pretty much saved Disney for all intents and purposes. I believe she told a story that Jodie Benson, the original voice actor for Ariel in the '89 version, while she was doing voiceover for Ariel, they were literally boxing things up at their Burbank location, their headquarters. It was the blurriest of times. However, once The Little Mermaid hit, it was a huge success, and the movie pretty much catapulted Disney into the next decade plus. They hit the Disney Renaissance. We all know what that is. And for all intents and purposes, Disney is the juggernaut that it is today, partially because of the success of The Little Mermaid. So when I heard this remake was announced, I got a little depressed over it because, these Disney live-action remakes have not been great for the majority of them. I have not seen Peter Pan and Wendy. However, I think I can count on one hand the number of Disney live-action remakes I actually like. Say, The Jungle Book by Jon Favreau, Cinderella by Kenneth Branagh. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but those are the two ones that stand out to me. The problem with these live-action remakes is that they either do the same thing to the point of redundancy, or they do less, and they try to fix something that did not need to be fixed. For example, I think the worst Disney live-action remake is The Lion King. And, I don't think I really need to go into detail, but it basically, again, tried to fix what wasn't broken. I would comfortably put the Disney live-action remakes into three groups: the actually good group, the horrible group, and then the nougaty middle. I cannot believe they actually remade that group, in the very forgettable sense. Like your Tim Burton's Dumbo or Pete's Dragon. Well, Pete's Dragon was good, but people tend to forget that that was a live-action remake. As far as The Little Mermaid 2023 goes, I would put it in that middle camp. The movie is not as horrendous as I was expecting it to be, and the trailers did not do this movie any favors. However, the movie's not exactly great either. It's not amazing, it's not horrible, it's a movie that exists. The absolute biggest compliment that I can give to this movie is Halle Bailey. She is a star. And now that this movie is out, I hope that she gets better work after this, because she absolutely deserves it. She carries this movie on her back, so much so that I'm surprised her back does not look like Shawn Michaels' back when he landed awkwardly on that casket at the Royal Rumble 1998. The point I'm trying to get at is that she is the emotional heft of this movie, and not all of her stuff works, but when the stuff that she is given does work, it really works. I also enjoyed her relationship with Prince Eric. I thought the two had a nice rapport with each other. It does overstay its welcome, and it's not the actor's fault. It's into the screenwriting and the pacing, but I'll talk about that in a minute. However, when they were on screen together, I genuinely liked them together, and I wanted to see them make it out okay. They do make it out okay because, well, it is a remake after all. If you've seen the original, you know how this movie ends, literally. But I was invested in the two, and I wanted them to make it out. Also, Prince Eric has a song in the movie, and it's actually pretty good. So Prince Eric was given good material. In the middle of the pack, the kind of so-so stuff, easily I would put Javier Bardem as Triton and Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I don't think Javier Bardem breaks the same facial expression throughout the entire movie. It feels like he just would rather be anywhere else. He's like, and the check should clear about now. Which is a shame because Javier Bardem is a great actor. He made me stress out over a coin toss.
The most you ever lost in a coin toss.
That's how good he is. But I don't know, it's just like he and Disney just do not mix. See Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales if you want proof. And then there's Melissa McCarthy. I think she can be funny. However, when it comes to Ursula, she is not my first, second, third, fourth, or even fifth choice. She's fine. I think Poor Unfortunate Souls, her rendition of it was the best part of her stuff in the movie, but I feel like she just kind of phones it in and takes a very conservative approach. I feel like there was a lot of room for her to go over the top, and she just didn't do that. And she becomes like Ursula over 9,000. It just comes out of nowhere and ends just as fast. I was just sitting there like, what was the point? And then there's the stuff that I just thought was straight up bad. First and foremost being the pacing. This movie is 2 hours long and it sure did not need to be. About the time when Ariel loses her voice, this movie hits a brick wall and just like stops dead to the point where I was just sitting there and SpongeBob time cards were going off in my head. Now, granted, the movie does move in the direction of they want Ariel and Eric to fall in love, so I do understand why they did this, but it was just not efficient. Full stop. They go through this like town market, and like I was just over it. Like I was just literally leaning in my seat, just like, all right, she's got the fork. All right, let's just move this along now.
Day 2.
Oh, we're still in the town. Okay, she's eating a flower. I'm sure someone thought that was funny.
Day 3.
Oh, she's mistaken hats for someone else. What time is it again?
Much later.
Little things like that to where just this movie did not need to be 2 hours and 15 human minutes long. It didn't need to be that long, y'all. Also, someone had the bright idea of giving the bird Scuttle a song. I like Aquafina. I like her as an actress. She nearly ruined the movie for me to the point where I almost walked out. Am I being hyperbolic? Ever so slightly. But man, when that Scuttlebutt song hit, I just wanted to proudly and bravely walk into the sea to be eaten by the giant squid from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's bad. I've heard people complain about the visual effects in the movie and the underwater scenes. They're fine. I was seeing people compare them to the scenes from Avatar: The Way of Water. Yes, because that is certainly an accurate comparison. Like a masterpiece, like in visual effects from like one of the greatest visual directors of all time in James Cameron versus the Little Mermaid live action remake. You might as well just watch Goldberg spear like James Ellsworth or something. It's like they are not the same. I guess my biggest harp is that the movie just in the visual sense, it just feels kind of there. Like the under the sea number that was done so much better in the original because they had like a full band going. They had like drummers and just all this great stuff, and it just feels like a bunch of sea creatures dancing on the screen. It was just one step above like a computer wallpaper or a GIF. If I sound like I'm being harsh on this movie, I promise you I'm trying not to be. Like I said, I thought this movie was overall fine. I'm going to give it a forgettable rating. I would easily lump this in with Tim Burton's Dumbo in regards to just how you forget that this movie was even a thing. But at the same time, there is potential here. There is good stuff. and there is some bad stuff. I can't hate on this movie, but I can't love it either. It just is in this negative zone of just existing. And I guess that's the biggest knock I have against it. It's fine, but it's also fine. I'm sure if you bring your family along, then they will love it. But for me, it's just kind of there. But I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of this movie if you've seen it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And if you like this video, like the video and subscribe to the channel and click the bell to allow notifications. So when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.